Hi, good afternoon, YouTube. This is Lori, not your ordinary dog walker, and I have a couple of updates for you today, so let's get into it. Today's question is Canada ready for Mark of the Beast? And the bottom line is banks in Canada are meeting the evolving preferences for their customers as technology changes the way Canadians bank. Banking is transforming at a record pace, bringing innovation and new potential to empower people's lives in a digital world. Now more than ever, Canadians value convenience through technology. To that end, Canada's banking industry is continuing its decades-long leadership in developing new innovations that make banking secure, convenient, and accessible for all customers. Canadians today have unprecedented access to safe and secure channels to meet all aspects of their banking needs. Banks have introduced fast and convenient banking and payment solutions, including online and app-based banking, mobile, tap and pay payments, depositing checks by taking a photo with a smartphone, and more. Indeed, that trend will continue as the pace of technological change accelerates. Canadians are embracing technology-driven banking solutions. With a customer-first focus, banks in Canada are building on their strong track record of adapting to what their customers want. And what they want is access to banking services 24 hours a day in real time from anywhere in the world on a reliable, secure network. These and other findings form the basis of how Canadian banks and the study by the Canadian Bankers Association Abacus data that examines the banking trends and attitudes of Canadians. So the stats are 91% of Canadians believe that new technologies have made banking a lot more convenient. 88% of Canadians say their bank has improved service through technology, with that figure increasing to 98% for millennials, which is now the largest generation in Canada. 88% of Canadians reported using online banking in the last year. 53% of Canadians say that online banking is now their most common banking method, 30% higher than mobile app-based banking and the second-ranked method. 2/3, 65% of Canadians feel satisfied with online banking, and almost 40% of Canadians are planning to increase their use of online banking more than any other channel. 50% of Canadians reported using mobile banking in the last year, up considerably from 2016 and 2014 results at 44% and 31% respectively. 32% of financial transactions are done with a mobile device, which is expected to increase to 41% in 5 years. 42% of Canadians say they are very satisfied with their app-based banking services, and more than 1/3, 36% of the millennials say apps are leading that the apps are their leading banking method, as opposed to 23% of all demographic groups. And more than half, 54% of the millennials, plans to increase its use of the banking apps within 5 years. Millennials are 3 times more reliant on mobile banking technology than their boomer parents. And overall, Canadians are satisfied with their mobile banking experience. Ease of use, 78%, convenience, 77%, and overall value, 77%. Feeling secure, 73%. Millennials, however, show considerably higher levels of satisfaction as it relates to the security of mobile banking. Boomers stand at 58%, Generation X at 80%, and Millennials at 87%. And then 2/3 of Canadians, 67%, used in-branch banking in the last year, including 20% who did so frequently. Over the 93% of customers who are satisfied with in-person banking. Only 12% of Canadians say their most common form of banking is in person, and 27% of customers plan to decrease their branch visits. So in 2017, Canadians made approximately 445 million cash withdrawals, 158 million deposits, 34 million bill payments, and conducted 19 million transfers at bank-owned ABMs. Overall satisfaction with the ABMs is high, with 53% of Canadians saying they are very satisfied with this method, and only 3% are not satisfied at all. Looking ahead 5 years, 19% of Canadians expect to increase their ABM withdrawal, whereas 21% expect to decrease their reliance on ABMs. And nearly 9 in 10, 87% Canadians are satisfied with their ABM withdrawals, while 73% are satisfied with their ABM deposits. On average, Canadians carry $91 in cash on a typical day. However, that amount is projected to decline to $77 in 5 years. And interestingly, boomers reported carrying an average of $69 a day, while millennials reported to carry an average of $143. And it would seem 88% Canadians trust their bank to offer secure digital banking services, and 85% of Canadians feel confident about online and digital banking technologies. Okay, so where is this all going? Is Canada leading the way for Mark of the Beast? It would seem so, because there's no resistance here. People are not hanging on to cash. There's a war on cash. And then to frame the spiritual aspect of this, Revelation 13:16 is that he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy, sell, or save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so at some point it's going to become mandatory. It's not. But as you can see, while I've been recording the vlog, the picture is of my card reader. It just came in the mail the other day, and this is the way that I'm going to have to conduct business now. It's not my preferred method, it's my customer's preferred method. I myself am still 100% cash, and I will remain that way and in this camp as they march on towards the mark of the beast. I don't know why we have to lead the way. The infrastructure is definitely all being set up, and fortunately enough for me, they sent me the wrong one. So they sent me the USB, and this is actually the one that needs to be attached into my phone. This goes into your laptop or your computer. So I actually had to have a credit check, and I've done my best to reduce any activity down on my credit bureau by choice since the 2008 collapse. The financial crisis that happened then caused me to make changes in the way that I do my banking, and that I hang on to my finances, and I did a revamp of everything and chose to deal in cash so that I had a better control over my finances so that I could see where stuff was going. And I used envelopes for years to get out of debt and get myself to where I am now. And I managed to put myself through school, and I changed my life, and I didn't have to go into debt. The whole point was getting out of debt. Yet everything about this system is about going into debt, because the economy can only expand as people take on more debt. And it contracts when people pay off debt and they get rid of their loans and their credit cards, right? So I have done my best to remain neutral, but going into business, my hand is forced for today. But I would not take the mark of the beast in order to continue. It would just be the end of me. Like, I'm not sure how all of that part will get played out in the long run, but I am not selling my soul for this piece of equipment and my phone in order to do business, to put food in my stomach. It's not happening. I will lose my head if they roll out a guillotine in Canada. I don't know. They have 33,000 of them in the US ready to roll out at any time in all the FEMA camps. So I stand firm on that. But I think it's definitely cause for concern, because in 2010, after the collapse happened in the US, Canada went and changed the Banking Act. So you need to get your hands on the Banking Act to learn that Canadians are unsecured creditors, right? So when they're ready to collapse the system monetarily, they will probably do it on a Friday. So you'll have like your 20,000 in your bank, and then on Monday morning you're only going to have 10,000, because they're going to hyperinflate the dollar, and we're going to lose 50%, and they're going to call that a bail-in, right? And being the unsecured creditor, that's how they go about doing that. I myself, I may be subject to using this, but I will go to the bank at the end of the day and withdraw the cash. I will only leave in my account what has to be there, and for supplies and banking fees, and maybe, I suppose, the taxes at this point, because Canadians are now being jailed for standing firm as freemen on the land. So that's a different article and different update. I might be able to link that article too down below. It's not really an area that I care to participate in right now. I just can't spread myself that thin. So then the other article today is an update about why the beaches were closed. And a recent study found that the cruise ships dumped 1.3 billion liters of wastewater in BC oceans just off the coast in 2017. So that's the report, but as it stands today, there's cruise ships that are coming in and out of Victoria, that are coming down from Alaska, that pass through my town, and the beach was designated closed due to raw sewage contamination. So it caused me to do a little bit of digging around online, and I came up with a story by I think it was CTV News, Vancouver Island, and they went on to report that a Canadian conservation group says cruise ships are responsible for dumping the vast majority of potentially toxic grey water that ends up off the BC coast each year. So the grey water includes drainage from dishwashers, sinks, showers, and contain contaminants like oil, disinfectants, fecal, coliform, microplastics, and all types of vessels off the BC coast commonly discharge grey water approximately 600 Olympic swimming pools worth in 2017. So that's just being reported. Who knows what's unreported, right? Because you can't have one without the other, as far as I'm concerned. There are several environmental impacts of gray water dumping, including potential for nutrients in the liquid to foster excessive algae growth, leading to dead zones for aquatic life. And then, you have all the sea life washing up on the beaches, right? And that's been ongoing for a long time. And then factor in Fukushima. There's just no escaping it. So with the gray water, it contains oil and grease that suffocates the fish by coating their gills, and particulate matter that chokes species like lobster and crabs like sponges. So the gray water discharge on inland waters, they say, is regulated by the province, but no regulations for gray water dumping on vessels that are more than 3 nautical miles out to sea, right? So where's the line on that? They did say that they urged Transport Canada to put in additional regulations in place around the gray water dumpings, and some companies voluntarily go beyond what is required, but much more is needed across the industry. So with 90% of all gray water likely produced on cruise ships, transparency can help customers make the difference by supporting companies that will keep the ocean health in mind. And the only way to do so is just not to participate, right? But you can tell that to the 700 passengers that are traveling during each cruise season, right? So it's not going to happen. So when the report was uploaded, BC residents were shook and they were expressing their disappointment online. And as you can imagine, the opinions range from surprised to not surprised at all. And in closing, it makes online or on land vacations look even better at this point. And needless to say, all dog adventures to the beach are now canceled. Yes, that's the end of that. I have to protect the dogs, and there'll be no more beach runs this summer while there's cruise ships going up and down the strait. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, YouTube. I'll be sure to include the links in the description so that if you want to read the reports and review what I've reported on, the information is there for you to do some further investigation. Okay, all right, that's all I got. Take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.